Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to analyze my game against Fabiano Caruana from the fourth round of ChessAble Masters. And let's see what happened in that game. Certainly the opening part was not that relevant. Endgame was this is the kind of endgame that is always interesting because it's rook and bishop against the rook, and I was defending in the right way in general by putting the king and rook rightly all the time, but it was like 16 moves to go to make it to move 50, and which is a draw if you can't convert after 50 moves. But I didn't manage, which is kind of usual thing even on a high level with low time. And I think up to that moment already, we have played so many moves that I was actually tired to defend this position, and probably saw that it's an easy task already, and 16 moves left. So yeah, it's a pity I lost that game. I had a lot of chances on the way, but let's see how it all unfolded. And certainly, let's not stop much on the opening because I think it's not relevant in general, but we can see the way Karu played it. And as far as I know, everybody wants the game, the King's Indian game against Caruana, which was really interesting, and I will come soon to it, and we will see what happened there. For now, it's me against Caruana. I'm playing as white, and so let's see the game. So yeah, it was in the fourth round. Okay, so here I went d4, knight f6. I switched off the evaluation tabs and the engine tab as well, so that you don't see the analysis, because I think they really kind of influence the distracts you from the analysis and distracts you from the things I say there, like trying to explain things and so on. So I think it's better without this, and I've seen a lot of comments as well on this. Some people didn't like the evaluations there being visible. Few of you, but still, I also think it's not the right way. That's why I decided that I should skip it. And anyway, as I'm looking with the analyzing it all with the computer, so it's with the engines, so it's actually not necessary, because anyway I'm going through it through the game with engines, and yeah, and of course it will be all good and clean, so it's fine. So let's go. d4, knight f6, knight f3, d5, c4, e6, e3, bishop e7. Well, I just decided to play something playable for one game, so went this one, castle short, bishop b2, c5. I went bishop d3. Many possibilities. Knight bd2, taking on c5 is also possible, but it's a different way. I was going on the positions with this hanging pawns, which is bishop d3. I mean, they create kind of weaknesses in white's camp, because these pawns are usually after d takes c4, c takes d4, they're kind of weak. But on the other hand, white has kind of dynamic play for that. They always have this kind of d5 moves, and in the future, by bringing the knight to d2, rook to e1, queen to e2, they have some kind of d5s, knight g5s, all these attacks. But certainly, if black plays in the right way, it shouldn't really work. But for the practical game, is a possibility. I mean, it's a normal way to play. So I went this, d takes, b takes, knight c6, castle short, knight before, a bit unexpected. I think black can do even without this move. But certainly the idea of knight before is that they want to play knight before to, first of all, to get the bishop to e2. But beside that, anyway, the knight will be there, and it's kind of annoying. So white will go a3 somewhere, and in general, it's a weakness for the future, because I mean, I would prefer in general not to move my pawn to a3, because it's just useless. Also gives some additional possibilities with this knight c6, knight a5 in the future, and that also c takes d4. I mean, the pawn will be hanging all the time on a3. So generally, that's the point of this knight before, and then b6. Okay, it's possible. b6, knight bd2, bishop b7, a3, knight c6, rook c1. Well, both sides are just developing. Rook c8, rook e1. White is preparing for c takes d4, as after e takes d4, rook will play on the e rank. So it's normal, actually. Immediately comes this, he takes d4 and bishop d6. As the bishop is on b2, you see now that the pawn on a3 is kind of strange, because now black, for example, wants somewhere queen e7 maybe and attack a3, I mean in some cases. So now they go for bishop d6 and bishop f4, trying to weaken the king side maybe, because white will go for some g3 or something. So white can start g3 already here, maybe bring the bishop to f1 and g2, one of the possibilities. I decided to go bishop d3, bishop f4, rook c2, avoiding, of course, the pin, as it's kind of annoying. Now maybe white wants to play knight e4 somewhere. Knight e7, preparing against knight e4, and also bringing the knight to g6, opening the rook, you know, the file for the rook, attacking c4. And also in general in these positions, black is kind of against d5 and c5, so it's nice to bring the pieces somewhere, like to put them on some positions where they're not attacked after d5 or c5. So one of these positions is g6 for black's knight. Certainly good, defending the king's flank, and also preparing some kind of assault there by, you know, by knight f4 or something, or maybe moving the bishop. A good move simply. And now it's on white's side, you know, what we have to do here. So it's hard to move now, because, I mean, if I play g3, bishop will just move anywhere, actually, to h6 or d6 or wherever. And even bishop takes d2 is possible, and black is also okay, I guess. That's why knight e4, trying to exchange some pieces and free the queen and let it go to d3 and so on, so that the play is a bit easier. Now knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes. And here I think Fabiano had to play bishop d6, which is the right way to put the bishop on d6 here. And certainly black is going to attack c4 pawn by the means of maybe putting the rooks on c-file. Maybe somewhere quite classical in the structures is also to put, let's say, knight on g6, kind of. Maybe knight on 7 is still okay. Then rook goes to c6 or c7, queen goes to c8 and a6, and the second rook from f8 goes to c8, and all of these pieces are attacking the c4 pawn. For this kind of play, the structure is similar, position is a bit different, but the structure is similar. And there was a game of me in Candidates in 2013 against Kramnik, where he really implemented most of these plans nicely in the game. Ended in a draw, but he showed all these plans in reality, you know, in the real game. But Fabiano went knight g6, h4, trying to go for h5. Now these pieces are kind of vulnerable here, because the h5 is coming, and that's why I could call knight g6 a kind of inaccuracy. That's why it's better to move the bishop to d6, not deciding on the position of the knight immediately, because it's not really the time to decide it. It was not exactly necessary. Maybe he didn't see the h4 idea or something. So now after h6, queen f6 was the best way to play, but it's a bit unpleasant in a game to put it under d5. Always you see that this d5 is possible. It's kind of, you know, makes you hesitant to play this queen f6. But mathematically and Compi suggests this, that the queen f6 is the right way. And the point is that queen probably feels quite comfortable on f5. So the bishop will go to d6 and queen will go to f5. And black doesn't have too much to worry about. It's around equal. Still with bishop d6 they could probably... still it would be around equality, but it would be a more comfortable way, because here you have to watch out already for the awkward position of the queen. And you have to think about these d5s, and somewhere when the queen is on e2 and your bishop moves, you have to think about g4s, all the stuff. Well, I would prefer this bishop d6, as I said, instead of knight g6, but okay, the game went in another direction, because Fabiano played bishop b8. h5, of course, attacking the knight. That was the whole point of h4. Knight f4 and h6, of course, otherwise, I mean, the pawn is hanging and it's pointless to go h4. So h6, queen f6. Very interesting move, and what's the best about this move is that It made me think for a long time. I took a lot of time here. In general, in the first part of the tournament, I was playing too slow. And this is not the way to play the rapid games. You should be faster. I've tried in the second part of the tournament to play faster. It worked much better. Maybe I didn't find all the best moves, but at least I was, moving faster and keeping the right pace, and it brought me results compared to this games where I was kind of doing good, but at the end the time was telling, and I was committing mistakes in pretty simple positions sometimes even, because when you're out of time, the kind of panic starts there, especially with all these mouse slips that are always in the air in online events and so on. So here after queen f6, already maybe I had to take on g7, but I decided that it's the more clever way to first go g3, to have g3 played, because h takes g7 was also possible immediately. But Compi suggests that maybe h takes g7, queen g7, knight e1 without even touching the structure on the flank is possible. And then queen f3, and then maybe bishop c1. Rook can come from c3 to g3. There is a possibility of this, which is possible kind of way to play. And so maybe this was the wise way to play this. And okay, g3 is also fine. G3 is also okay. Queen g6. Now h takes g7. Of course, if now black takes, that's a possible way. Now maybe knight e1. Yeah, sorry, not here. Yeah, so g3, queen g6. Yeah, if black takes here, yeah, it's not possible, I think, after g3. Yeah, it's a different position. Well, it's possible, but here already with the inclusion of g3 compared to the position before, where I could take h takes g7 immediately, here I have for example, the move king f1, which is just asking the question, what is this knight doing? What is next for black? They're going knight g6, let's say. Okay, it's too passive, and now even knight h4 is okay. And the king is vulnerable on g8. d5 is coming. Black is in a very big trouble here. So d5 is coming, and it's very unpleasant. Very unpleasant. This one is already much better for white. So of course Fabiano is not going for this. He saw this and he went rook d8. Rook e3. A possible move. Maybe more stable would be to play rook e1. The point being that black doesn't have too many moves like, for example, the move like knight d3 loses to knight h4, knight b2, knight g6, knight d1, knight d7, and king g7, knight takes c8. White is an exchange up. Will be a not so easy task to convert, but certainly white is close to winning. So rook e1 was possible. Maybe it was kind of a more stable move. Instead I went rook e3. It seemed natural to me. But now, as you can see, even by the feeling, that the pieces are a bit hanging there on c2, e3 somewhere. Some kind of knight h3, bishop f4, some things like this are in the air. Maybe somewhere e5s, b5s. Of course b5 was possible with a rook on e1 as well, but yeah, it's not that stable, this kind of setup. But okay, rook e3, queen g4. So here I went a very bad move. Actually, just to show you the idea of rook e1 before, here, the queen g4 would be also the best move here, queen g4. I mean, at least one of them. But here I have my queen protected already on d1, which was a problem after rook e3, queen g4 in the game. Here I have, for example, one of the moves. Maybe bishop c1 is a possibility. Another possibility is to go knight h2 here, this, or maybe even d5 with the queen. With the queen defended on d1, I don't have this problems of moving my knights my knight anywhere, because d1 is not hanging. And as I said, it's kind of more stable because pieces are defending each other, and it's easier to play this for white. And one of the possibilities would be bishop c1, just attacking this knight. Would be quite comfortable. Instead I went rook e3. Rook e3, queen g4. And queen f1. It's a very bad move in general. Computer suggests that, engine suggests that after rook e3, instead of queen g4, the best way for black to play is maybe b5. Now I can't take, of course, c2 is hanging, so should do something. The best way to play is knight h4, queen g5, and now c5. What about c5 immediately? Let's ask this natural question that occurs after this. b5, c5. Yeah, now it says somehow that it's better to play knight h4 first. Probably the rook will move after knight h4 in case black goes for this knight d5. Let's say here, after c5, black can go knight d5 or queen g4. But in this, yeah, after rook e3, knight h4, queen g5, c5. Yeah. Yeah, that's the point. c5. And now if knight d5, it's kind of a better version for white because they will go rook e4. They have this kind of threats also in the air, so g7 is not attacked now. Close to an equal position, to my mind. Computer suggests that white is slightly better, but okay, this black is having a great square on d5. It's not so easy for white to convert in case they're slightly better, but yeah, just an unclear middle game to my mind. Okay, so Fabiano went queen g4. It's a mistake. Now I went queen f1, which is a very bad move. Even here it was better to play rook e1 and protect the queen. But the best way here I've just missed completely. It was d5. It was already time to support g7 pawn, to finally make this thrust in the center. And after e takes d5, c takes d5, let's say rook c2, queen c2, knight d5. Somehow, while while calculating all these lines, I saw that this is something strange. I'm giving up the pawn. g7 will also be lost somewhere, and I can be just pawned down at some point. But I completely missed that after taking on d5. First of all, rook can't take on d5 because of rook e8. But after taking on d5, I will go just rook d3, pinning this rook on d8, and you will almost never get my pawn on g7. I'm just completely good here. I mean, like, very good here. I mean, close to winning, I guess, after rook d3. Then the queen goes to d1. You have this pin on the d line. You can't move much with black in this position to avoid being pinned. So this was just a great decision to play d5. I really regret not playing this because it's natural also for me to play this kind of moves. You're supporting g7 pawn. Yeah, you are giving up one pawn for the activity of your pieces. You are not allowing this b5 stuff and all your bishop on b2 and rook on c2. They're starting kind of they're back into the game. Otherwise, what I did is ridiculous. After queen f1, so queen f1. Already here he went h5, but instead he could go rook d5. Should be a great way to play. Rook is coming, and as you can see, already I have the problem with this pawns and with these pieces. So I didn't open up the position, and I didn't get this kind of initiative. So now after rook d5, black is having all the initiative. They're coming, and it's kind of tricky. Again, I would have to play something like rook d2, rook h5, I don't know, some d5, but you understand that this is kind of tricky. Knight is on h3, g3, all the threats, knight takes f2 all the time in there, some queen h3 mates, and all this stuff. It's so unpleasant. Another way to play was to go b5, c5, and rook d5, also kind of the same. Also slightly better for black. They will finally pick up the g7 pawn at some point and just get the free play in the center with nice square on d5. Instead, Caruana goes for h5, seeking some play on the king's flank, of course. I had to play for rook d2 here, and again, playing for this d5 is the way. To open up this bishop, to support g7. This is the way, and bishop can also help sometimes in defense even. So why not? I mean, why not this rook d2 and d5? And again, I'm playing it slow. By thinking and also by the moves, it's not the way to play such a dynamical position the way I played it. Okay, if there is some clear consolidation, if there is something clear that you can do, yeah, you can. But there's nothing clear that I'm doing. I'm just queen f1, king h2. I mean, what am I doing? I'm not even probably threatening to take on f4 anytime soon. So king h2. Now he went knight g6 to support h4, but he could go also knight d5. It would be the best way. Knight d5, rook b3 and h4, for example. Why not? Was his idea. So he went knight g6 to play h4, probably so that he will go it anyway. Now maybe the right way, because now at least it justifies my king h2. It's queen h3, b5, c5. He had some kind of nice move like knight f4 here. Like knight f4, takes, knight d2, knight d5, kind of close to equal. But instead he went knight e7, queen g4, hg, knight d2 was the way to play. But I went knight h4, which is also similar. Maybe knight e1 is also okay. Maybe knight e1 is also okay. Yeah. Or even knight e5 is possible. Knight e1, engine's first choice, but okay. I don't know why did I put the knight there, you know, on the edge, you know, of the board. Not sure at all. I think it's not the way to play. Have to centralize your pieces in this case. I saw something forced that I saw it's forced, but of course it's better to bring it here or on Ivan to keep it into play in the play, and to bring it closer to the queen's flank, because the whole scenario of the game is going to be on the queen's flank. So why do you go knight h4 sometimes? Sometimes some things are just inexplicable. Knight h4, knight d5, rook e4. Yeah, I probably calculated some kind of line with d5 and knight f5 coming, like beautiful stuff. But of course, Fabiano is not going for this. So I went, sorry, I didn't go rook e4. Rook e4 actually was better. Rook e4, knight f6, and rook e1. Yeah, at least to distract the knight from d5. Can go back, of course, any moment. But at least then I can bring my knight to g2 and d3. So instead I went here immediately, keeping his great piece there on d5, which is incorrect, of course. You have to first go rook e4, bring the piece into the bad position, and then go back, if there is nothing forced at least. So bishop c7, improving the pieces. Knight g2. Again, it was even better to go this and rook e1 and make a draw. So I went knight g2, king g7, knight e3. Rook e4 was, again, maybe a better move than knight e3, but okay. Knight e3, knight e3, e3, king g6, bishop c3. Yeah, bishop c3, rook d5, king g2, rook h8, rook b2, a6, a4. All right, rook b8, takes. Now it was time just to play rook b1. After b4, just to go bishop a1, put the rook on b3, bring your king to f1, e2. Position is very equal. Instead, I'm going for some strange stuff, but of course, this is the way. I mean, it starts to be when you lose so much time for nothing. So I went rook e1, e5, already creating some kind of problems. D takes, rook c5. Bishop d4 is maybe better here. Rook c4, rook e4. But yeah, I mean, after king f5, rook f4 and stuff. But instead of this, I went rook e3. Not that bad. King f5. f3, trying to exchange everything and get a drawish position. Rook c4. And here it's okay after f takes g4 for white. King takes, rook b2. Rook e8, for example, rook e4. This takes. Rook f2, and the pawn on f7 is being lost. And rook endgame will be a draw here for this. Takes. Yes, black's pawn is more advanced, but white is on time to bring the king there. So c3 does, king d3, king g3, king f3 maybe. Let's do king f3. It's more normal. Rook e3, king f4, rook e4, king f5. Or no, sorry, not king f5, maybe king f3. Rook c4, rook e2, king c2, g5, and black can't promote, or both sides will promote and it will be a draw. So yeah, that was the way. But instead I decided to go for, after rook c4, I went for rook b2, trying to play e6, b4, f takes g4, king e6, because if king takes g4 then it's rook e4, takes this and takes here, it's a draw. So he wanted to avoid it. Of course he had much more time, and certainly black is not risking anything. So bishop b2, b3, king f3. Now already I'm allowing some kind of rook c2 and all this. Already I played some kind of a strange game, allowed this kind of slight advantage for black. Rook d3, bishop e7, rook h2, trying to give a check there, bishop f8, playing it nicely, g5, trying to exchange. As I said, I need to exchange as many pawns as possible. Rook c2, rook dd2, rook c8. Maybe now it was better to play just this, and bishop c1, then bring my king to e2, rook to h7, and it's a draw. Black can't do much of a progress. Instead I went king e4, rook c4, king f3, king f5. And here I had a forced draw. It was e6, f takes e6, and now rook h e2, threatening this and take e6. So now there is no way to protect this pawn. So let's say if rook 4 c5, I just go g4 and take e6. If rook c2, I don't think it's relevant. I just play this and take, and then I will go at some point back to e2 and it will be a draw, or take on c2 and play bishop c1. So it was a forced draw here already. e6. If, for example, king takes to e6, then g4, and white is even threatening this mate, so black has to sacrifice the exchange. It's a draw, but it's already black who is playing for a draw, not white. Yeah, I think I've missed a lot of moments in this game, but this is what happens to you when you play low on time. You always have this possibility to blunder, which is not a good thing. So this, rook c2, e6 instead, rook takes, f takes e6, rook g3, even though rook e2 was close to draw, the same idea, taking this. Yeah, it's a draw. Instead I went rook d3, rook b8, maybe rook d7 was nice, or maybe rook e3 even, just a normal move, rook b6, maybe bishop d4. But again, here already black can go b2, maybe we get again this position with a bishop, rook and bishop against the rook. Okay, I went rook e3, rook b6, instead of this bishop d4 or rook e5, bishop d5, I went rook e1. Because computer understands and knows that this endgame is draw, that's why it wants to go there and get 0-0-0 by, by getting that position. So rook e1, king g5, king e4. Already black is pressing. Bishop d6, bishop d4, rook a6, and he's playing it nicely here. He's not, losing all of his chances by any move. It's just pressing. Now after rook a4, the way to play maybe was to play rook e3 again. But probably will have to give up the bishop, I guess, somewhere. Or not yet. Maybe here king d3 is nice. And now the pawn cannot be defended. Yeah, maybe rook e3 was good. So instead I went king d3, bishop g3, rook b1, e5, bishop c5, rook c6, bishop e3, king g4, rook takes b3, king f3, bishop d4, because already e4 is coming, is not so pleasant. Probably possible to play bishop a7 instead of bishop d4, but it's already kind of unpleasant to play this position. You will have to probably give the bishop somewhere. Bishop e5, bishop e5. Okay, we got this position. I was defending it in the right way, like putting the king and rook like this all the time. And black is checking, but then you go there or there and you're defending it. More or less they're quite close, and it's easy to maneuver with them. So we are not missing much. So I went rook a3, rook c8, rook b3, rook d8, king c4, king e4, king b5, king d5, rook d3, bishop d4, rook b3, rook a8, king b4, rook b8, king a4. You see I'm putting them close and it's not easy to attack them at all. Bishop b6, king b4, king d4, king a4, king c5, rook c3, king d5, rook b3, king c6, rook b1, rook d8, just to show you kind of clue how to play in this one. Okay, after rook b1 he didn't play rook d8, he played rook h8. So king b4, bishop d4, king c4, rook h4, d1, bishop e5, king d3, king d5, king e3, bishop e4, king f3, king e5, rook f1 again. So after check I can move these directions. Instead rook e4, king g3, rook e3, king g4, king e4, king e4, rook f4, king d5, rook f3, rook e8, king f5 again, check, king will go to g4, rook g8, rook f4, bishop f5, bishop f5, rook f3, bishop d4, rook f4, bishop s3, rook g4, rook f8, king g6, bishop d4, rook h4. This also rook g4 was possible maybe, but okay, this king e6, rook g4, rook h8. Doing it all nicely without any problems. Draw is close. King g6, bishop f4, trying to get here and get my king up there to g8. King g7, if now rook f6, rook g6, and it's a draw, rook f7. And now I don't know why to find yourself so many problems for just nothing. What was it? Why? You can just go king g6 here, and it's super hard again to get my king to, you know, up there to g8. And it's much easier to play as white. It's 16 moves left. It's almost impossible to do anything as black. Instead, I'm going king g8, and just let's see how he won this game, because it's just instructive to see how white can lose this. Rook g6, bishop f6, rook g3, rook a7. Now it's a bit unpleasant because it's annoying. A lot of this kind of threats. King there, like, you know, the bishop to e5, a lot of mating threats and so on. Rook a7 here, I played stupidly. Rook e3, okay. Of course, rook b3 is the move to attack from here. So rook g7, king f8, for example, rook h7, rook b6, king f5. As you can see, king is a bit far now from creating all these mating nets. And after this, king g6 and king e8. And the point is that after, for example, rook e7, white will just go king d8, and after the, you know, this open check, he will just go to there, like king c7, king d7, and just white is just okay. So instead I went rook e3 check, bishop e5, rook f3, rook g7, king f8, yeah, king f8, already here it's lost, of course, yeah. So king f8, rook g4. Now the mate is threatening with rook g8, so rook e3. And now already, you know, black could go rook h4 already, because the rook is only 3, so it can't go rook g3. But instead he went rook a4, is also winning, threatening mate from here, king g8, and rook h4. Maybe one day I'll do the video on this rook endgame, rook and bishop endgame. I'll see if it interests you in general, this kind of stuff. But it's a very tricky thing. It's a very tricky endgame. In general, these endgames are tricky for the players. And I think it was an interesting game. I don't think it's as interesting as the second one, but I mean, positionally, it's good for understanding. It's good for understanding that you shouldn't play this kind of passive chess when you have the possibility to play more straightforward. You should not forget about your pieces that are stuck, and you should not only think about the safety of your king when all the threats are quite far. You should also think about, you know, just bringing your pieces and also playing aggressively to win. Instead of just trying to neutralize the attack, which I was doing here in this game. And this is a huge mistake for this game, and I've paid for it. Certainly, the more fair result would be a draw. But the way I played the end of this endgame, when I was already like 16 moves close to a draw, to a 50 moves rule, and you shouldn't forget that there is no need to play carelessly any position, even if it seems super easy. And many times in my life, I've seen the top chess players commit mistakes at the very simple moment when all the obstacles were they already passed, and everything was good. They calculated tremendous amount of unusually super sharp tactical lines, and just finally somewhere you have to move just one pawn and to win the game or to make a draw or something, they would relax because the position seemed so much easier than it was before. So you shouldn't relax till the very end of the game. This is of course the all the professionals know it, but sometimes also we commit this kind of chess crime, when you just relax in the very very important moments, and then you get punished very fast, especially against the top players. They feel this kind of moments where you commit the mistake probably quite fast, and they can get a use of it, and they're always ready for this mistake. They're always eager to find some kind of vulnerable spot in your defense. So that was the point of this game, and I think you should remember these rules. And for the rook and bishop and game, rook and bishop against the rook and game, I'll see if I do the video, because it's a huge topic and there are a lot of positions that you should know. And to defend this position with low time is always hard, even if you know what you are doing, because it's tricky during the game because too many possibilities and sometimes you get just distracted by some. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe, comment, hit the bell button to be notified about future videos. I am very close to establishing all the things for the streams, but of course I also want to finish the ChessAble Masters with all the games. Probably there will be more games to follow because I have this Chess Olympiad, online Chess Olympiad to play, and we'll be always happy to see you on the channel. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for creating this great community. I'm very proud that we have reached already almost 15,000 subscribers, and of course it motivates me to do a lot of interesting stuff, and I'm thinking about different interesting ideas, exciting ones. So we keep in touch. Thanks for watching, and subscribe, and of course comment. I really need your comments. Thank you so much. Bye bye.